Get ready to witness the rise of basketball royalty as the young prince, Bryce James, son of LeBron James, is on the brink to surpass the hype surrounding his older, college-ready brother, Bronny. At 15 years old and standing tall at 6 foot 6 inches, Bryce is turning heads and making waves in the basketball world. Although his brother's name has been in that world for several years, Bryce's sudden growth spurt has truly put him on the map. Here's to prove that he's not just a spoiled and entitled nepo baby, but rather, he has the skills, physique, determination, and work ethic to potentially dethrone his older brother as the best of the King James offspring, and leave a lasting imprint that will make the basketball world take notice. A few years ago, when a much smaller Bryce was shooting hoops alongside his older brother, the talent he displayed was undeniable. Yet many were blindsided by his physicality, expecting him to morph into a carbon copy of his near giant of a father. Those predictions seemed far-fetched when he hit a modest 5'11" in his growth curve. It felt like the excitement around him had been doused by an ice-cold bucket of reality. But oh, how the tides have turned. Fast forward to today, the young Bryce, who once stood dwarfed by his older brother, now towers him by a good 3 inches, having sprouted to a height eerily similar to that of LeBron James at 15. Bryce, with his newly acquired wingspan, is not just reshaping the narrative around him, but also his own destiny on the court. There's a common assumption in basketball folklore that a player's skill diminishes as their height increases. Well, Bryce James is here to shatter that myth. Since his growth spurt, he's evolved from being a competent guard to a formidable wing player. For most of his basketball journey, Bryce was cast in the shadow of Bronny's ever-growing fame. After all, Bronny was the older sibling, the famous Twitch streamer, and the trailblazer for the James legacy in the game. The world watched in suspense as he showcased his talent, waiting to see if he would eventually team up with their GOAT father in the NBA. Meanwhile, Bryce quietly honed his skills, making impressive strides without the glaring spotlight on him. But now, the dynamics have shifted. With Bryce's rapid growth and transformation, the world is waking up to the raw, untapped potential he possesses. Scouts and recruiters who were once fixated on his older brother are now beginning to see the younger James sibling in a new light. Remember how he was almost invisible on recruiting radars just a year ago? Well, not anymore. With the AAU season underway, Bryce is quickly climbing the ranks and making a name for himself. From a 6'1" guard with average athleticism to a 6'6" wing player who's catching the attention of everyone, Bryce has skyrocketed to become a 4-star recruit and the 19th shooting guard in his class nationwide. But the journey has just begun. Bryce James's story is the perfect example of an underdog tale. Despite being LeBron James's son, he has had to contend with overshadowing from his elder brother and the inevitable comparisons to his father. But he has remained unfazed, focusing on developing his skills and carving out his own niche. His game is as diverse as it is impressive. Whether it's his knack for a three-point jumper, his agility in maneuvering around opponents, or his power in slamming the ball into the hoop, Bryce has proven himself to be a well-rounded player. The cherry on top? His increasingly powerful frame, which once it fills out, will undoubtedly enhance his performance and take his game to the next level. While we're all caught up in Bryce's rapid ascent and undeniable skills on the court, there is a deeper narrative at play here. This is a narrative of resilience and tenacity, of a young boy diligently working on his game even as he stood in the towering shadows of his father and brother. Bronny has suddenly found himself sharing the spotlight with his younger brother. And to be honest, it's not the worst thing in the world. It takes a bit of the immense pressure that has been leaning on Bronny's shoulders all this time. Bryce, now the taller brother, has set the stage with his skill and poise, making it impossible to overlook his immense potential. Also, it doesn't hurt to be the son of one of the best, if not the best, basketball player in the history of the sport. Everyone's paying attention. Perhaps what makes Bryce's journey all the more impressive is the fact that he has remained so grounded throughout. In a world where social media often dictates a player's reputation, Bryce has managed to stay focused on his game, allowing his talent to speak for itself. In just a couple of years, he's gone from being LeBron's son and Bronny's younger brother to being recognized as a serious basketball prospect in his own right. It's not just the fact that he has matured physically that's making heads turn, but also his increasingly sophisticated and skilled game. Today, Bryce James is not just another promising young star. He's a rising star with all the tools necessary to become a great NBA player. His three-point shots are deadly accurate. His handling of the ball is mature beyond his years. and his agility around the court is already reminiscent of an NBA vet. However, Bryce's game isn't without its weak points. In transition, he's been observed getting stripped on layups, and he tends to avoid contact on shots at the rim. These aspects of his game suggest that he might need to work on ball security and his ability to absorb and play through contact. Despite these areas for improvement, Bryce's overall talent and potential are undeniable. His combination of height, skill, and athleticism make him a high-level prospect. And with continued growth and development, he's expected to become an even stronger player in the future. As LeBron James' son, Bryce's life has undoubtedly been under the microscope. His every move on the basketball court has been scrutinized, and the comparisons to his father have been endless. But this young baller has handled it all with grace and humility, proving he's not just another prodigy living off his father's fame. He's carving out his own path, breaking records, and redefining expectations, all while wearing the James family name with pride. It's clear that Bryce James is not just LeBron's son anymore. He's becoming a force to be reckoned with on his own. As we watch Bryce's extraordinary journey unfold, we can't help but anticipate the possibilities that lie ahead. Will LeBron end up teaming up with not just one, but both his sons in the NBA? Will Bryce surpass not just his older brother, but also his father to reach dizzying heights of his own? Only time will tell, but for now, one thing's for certain. The young prince is well on his way to becoming the king of his own court. And as he steps out of the shadows and into the spotlight, we can't help but marvel at the spectacle that's Bryce James, the unexpected hero of the James dynasty. As we stand on the brink of a new era in basketball, one where the name James is synonymous with not just LeBron, but also Bronny and Bryce, we can't help but feel a sense of excitement. Bryce James is not just rising, he's soaring. And in doing so, he's providing a front row seat to one of the most enthralling chapters in the saga of the James family's basketball legacy. So, here's to Bryce James, the young prince who's rapidly evolving into a somewhat surprising king. The journey has just begun, and we can't wait to see where it takes him. Remember, the last name is James, and in this family, greatness isn't just a goal, it's an expectation. Speaking of expectations, the Denver Nuggets have just won their first NBA championship, due in large part to their unique centerpiece, Nikola Jokic. Known for his seemingly unathletic stature yet incredible shooting, playmaking, and rebounding abilities, Jokic presents a spectacle the likes of which the basketball world has never seen. The NBA, which transitioned from the era of towering centers in the rugged 80s and 90s to the small ball era launched by the Golden State Warriors, is now being reshaped by the Joker himself. Nikola's multifaceted offensive game may prompt the NBA to develop more highly skilled centers, potentially shifting the dynamics of the game once more. I made a video about Nikola Jokic's incredible playoff run and how he has positioned himself as one of the all-time greats. Check it out.